Here at SMB, we've got an important principle, which is that traders grow when they are around other great traders, when they learn how to emulate those great traders. And so in the Options Tribe, we've adopted a similar kind of a concept. We hold an Options Tribe trading contest every year, lasts about 6 months, and we basically measure your trading success over a 6-month period. And the trading contest is a way, basically, for traders in our community to learn the best practices of outstanding traders in the community. And a couple times during the contest, we have a roundtable webinar where we bring on many of the leaders on the leaderboard who are excelling in the trading contest. And they come on and they present the way that they trade. And this becomes a great way for the members of our community to basically hang out, so to speak, with the top traders in our community, hopefully giving them an opportunity to emulate them, to learn what's in their thinking, what their approaches are, what drives them, and perhaps find that within themselves. Now, one of the things we do in the trading contest is we ask each trader to take on a nickname. Some people do, some people don't. They're unbelievable nicknames in some cases. One year we had the Caspian Sea Monster and other bizarre names, Viking one year, and lots of other names. So we'd like to have a little fun with this also. But last night was serious. Last night was about our panel, which we held, and the contestants in the panel presenting their strategies and answering questions and so forth. So the first trader was JDub, great guy who I happen to have met, and he is from Canada, and he's one of the dollar leaders of our contest. And JDub brought out a couple interesting points I thought it'd be worth to emphasize in this video. The first one is that a lot of traders struggle with sizing up. They trade at a certain level when they first start trading, and then they want to start, making more money, making greater income, so they have to increase their capital level. But what comes along with that is larger dollars, and that can cut both ways. You could have larger gains, and you may tend to cut your trade off too early, or you may have larger losses in dollars, but still certainly within your loss limitations. And so people who go from small capital levels to large capital levels oftentimes have trouble adjusting. They panic out of a losing trade. They cut their losses short on a winning trade. And so what JDub suggested, what he does for himself is he takes each of his strategies and he puts up basically a paper account of that strategy, and he watches the paper account more intensively than he does the real account, so that he doesn't fall into the trap of worrying about the dollars involved. He instead can trade the strategy as he was used to at the smaller capital level, giving him an ability to make more calm and rational decisions than simply reacting to a big positive number or a big negative number. I thought it was a really clever idea, and that's the kind of thing that people should emulate to stay with their disciplines. The other thing I thought was great about JDub's presentation was he talked about how he backtests 5 hours a week at a minimum. And he says that to me is just going to the batting cage. That's me having the reps, continuously learning, growing, and also simply repeating the same movements over and over again, so that when you're trading live, you will have it become second nature to trade, to adjust, to approach things in a certain way. I thought that was just great, and undoubtedly is a reason that JDub is on the leaderboard in the trading contest. The second trader who presented was the Tart of Doom. Now that has got to be maybe the greatest name we've ever had in an Options Tribe trading contest. Don't ask me to explain it. And he's a very serious guy, by the way, but he's got a goofy nickname, the Tart of Doom. He lives here in New York, and he is one of the leaders of the return measurement of the trade. His capital is being returned at a very high level in the contest, and he's also one of the administrators of our trading contest and is very, very helpful in that regard. And what Tart of Doom suggested was that instead of going out and reinventing the wheel and trying to develop your own strategy, which of course is great if you can or if you're so inclined, but you don't have to. All you really have to do is draw from the best of other traders and then synthesize the trading ideas that you get from other traders into a concept that works for you. And Tart of Doom actually has a unique trading style. I haven't quite seen it before, but I've seen a lot of things similar to it. And so I think he did a great job of bringing out a really helpful tendency among successful traders, which is to draw from the wisdom of other traders. And he shared that with us last night. I thought that was great. The third trader is Vega Vulture. And those of you who understand options, Vega is one of the options Greeks. It's hard to explain this nickname also because his trade isn't particularly about Vega, although his trade is very sophisticated, first of all, and also involves balancing the options Greeks, which is a particular trading style that a lot of traders find to be attractive. And so Vega Vulture talked about his style, how he uses various option structures to control his Greeks. And he also talks about how he wants to create a trade that can handle as much as a 3 standard deviation move in the vehicle that he's trading, the index or whatever, to allow himself enough room to make profit on the trade in even relatively extreme market circumstances. He designs his strategies also. Another interesting point he brought out is that his trade design is such that he's adding capital at times that it's advantageous to add that capital. A lot of times we do adjustments that are defensive. His trading style is basically offensive. In other words, when it's the best time to make a particular move because of the pricing on that move, he'll adjust at a time that's most advantageous to adjust, as opposed to scrambling to defend a position when everyone else is scrambling to defend that same position, making it not a particularly advantageous time to adjust. So that was the wisdom of Vega Vulture. And finally, we have a member who has not taken on a nickname, Ken Kiefer, but there is a yogurt drink called Kiefer, so that's as good as we're going to do as far as a sort of a symbol for Ken. And Ken actually has a very simple philosophy. It's deceptively simple, but it's very powerful. And that is simply, he knows what he's good at and what he's not good at. He is a solid options trader. He's on our leaderboard. However, he has found that one of his weaknesses is when he adjusts his trades, he either over-adjusts, which is a very common mistake that people make. They go too far in their adjustments. They panic and they go too far, assuming with their continuation bias the market's going to continue forever in that direction. And they overdo it, and most of the time that becomes a serious problem for the trade. And secondly, he does not feel he executes very well in adjustments. Now, could he practice and become a better adjuster? Conceivably. But the shorter path for most traders is to simply understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and to find a trading style that's consistent with that. And Ken he's adopted the net zero strategy, and the net zero strategy has is a non-adjusting strategy. And therefore, it's very, very consistent with Ken's personality. And in fact, it's been very successful for him. He's up on our leaderboard. So those were the 4 presenters there last night. And if you were listening carefully and taking good notes, you have a lot of great lessons about trading that came from that panelist session last night, and you have had an opportunity to learn and then emulate the philosophies and the habits of great traders. So hanging around with great traders certainly teaches you their philosophies, but probably of greater importance is it teaches you their habits. So when JDub says he backtests 5 hours a week, that's a habit. That's a habit that is going to allow him to excel. Imagine a batter who didn't ever go to batting practice. He's not going to be a very good hitter, is he? The ones who go to batting practice, those are the ones who excel. Most great professions, medicine, law, art, music, great arts, great hobbies, great professions, all have one thing in common. They all have an apprentice system, a system where those who are aspiring to be like the master get an opportunity to work with the master. And that's what these sessions are all about. Here at SMB, the intraday equity traders are in teams, and they are learning from each other every day and learning the habits of the greatest traders in their teams. And that's helping them all to grow. So whatever you do, make sure you find an options trading community that has in it great options traders who are willing to share their strategies, because that gives you an opportunity to emulate them. You've got to take notes, you've got to listen to what they're saying carefully, and then you have to put it into practice. If you do that, you really are giving yourself a great shot at improving as an options trader. Thanks very much.